Hey, it's Mike Draper with Expert Safety Services, and you're watching this video because either you are an advocate and you're wondering how the program works, or you're considering the Safety Advocate program for your company. So either way, we appreciate you taking the time to do this. Take a look at this video. We're going to show you exactly how the program works, how you go into the employer dashboard, and how the employee would use his app. And one of the things you really want to think about with this program is that there are really two components. One is the dashboard, and you want to think about the dashboard as the way the employer communicates with the employee. And then there's the app that will be on the employee's phone, and that's how the employee responds to the direction that you're giving as the employer out from the dashboard. So there's this dashboard, and then there's the app. So what we're going to do first and foremost is we're going to take you into and show you how you access that. I'm going to share my screen here. You would go to the Expert Safety Services website, and on here you're going to see over in the right-hand tab there's a menu drop down. You're going to go to the Advocate login that you've received after you signed up, and it's going to put you over into the dashboard. Now, the very first thing that you might do is you'll see here at the top right-hand corner, Manage Employees. So again, the dashboard is how we're going to direct employees. So the very first thing we probably are going to want to do is put some employees into the program. We simply hit Manage Employees. We see a first name and last name prompt here as well as their email. We put that information in, hit Add Employee, and then as you can see, the employees will populate here underneath. So you'll be able to see all your employees. This is also a valuable tool. If an employee happens to lose a password or can't get into his app for whatever reason, you can simply send him a quick connect link from here. You're also able to delete employees. If employees no longer work for you and you're pretty sure they're not going to ever come back to work for you, you can simply delete them here. So that was how we would add. Let's go back to our dashboard now. And we'll see some of the functionalities of this dashboard. So the very first box we see is employee training. And what we've done is we've taken all of our training programs, with exception of High Rise, and we've videoed them for you so that your employees can watch them as needed and also obtain their certification. So if we go into the employee training, what we would do is we would select an employee, and for all my examples today, I'm going to select myself, but I'll put Mike Draper in here. And then what you're going to see is you're going to see it populated here of what I've been enrolled in. And then I also can assign courses. For instance, I'm not enrolled in the rooftop safety training. I would simply populate the enroll there, hit assign courses, and that would show up in my app. And I'm going to show you the app here in a minute, but I just want to focus on the employer dashboard for now. Once I hit that assign course there, then that would show up in the app for me as the employee to do it. Now, once I've done it, once I've completed in the app, that information is going to come back here. So you can see that on OSHA 1910 class, for instance, I was assigned it on 11/22. I didn't do anything with it, and I have not taken the test, so I don't have a score here. But my respiratory training, you can see that I completed it with 100%. I got 100% on the test score. I'm able to download the medical form and also to download the certificate for that employee here in my dashboard. So this area, the online training, shows all the classes that you can enroll them in, and it will go to their app for them to watch. So let's go back to our dashboard, go to another piece of this, weekly safety meetings. So what we've done is we have videoed all of our weekly safety meetings. There's 26 of them right now. We'll be adding some more. But if we go into this tab, what we can do is we can assign the whole crew a meeting, or we can do it on an individual basis. For our intents and purposes today, I'm just going to do it on an individual basis. So I'm going to go into myself again. This is how I would manage my employee, select the employee. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign myself the chemical safety weekly safety meeting. And again, that's going to be a video. It's going to show up in my app. But if I hit update there, my app now shows that I've got that to watch, all right? And what's really cool, we'll bring you back into the dashboard after the app, but you'll notice here, just notice the dates. We've used this as an example before, but this 8/6 chemical safety, I viewed it, but we'll see that today's date is going to populate after we watch it in the app. And then all of the employees, we can manage employees here. we can see all of their viewings of that weekly safety meeting right here in our dashboard. Go back into the dashboard. Another pinch point that we often run into in our mobile contractor world is PPE, or what I even call pre-inspections. So if you've got a guy in a harness, he's supposed to be doing a daily inspection of that. They never got documented very well. And so what we've done is we've provided an easy way to get that documentation. If I go into PPE inspections, again, you can see that once they complete them, they will come back into your dashboard. But let's assign myself again. We'll go to individual. You can also do it as a crew, but we're going to assign this individual. See what populates. Okay, so I've got some populated already in my app, so we'll leave those there. If I wanted to add one, I'd simply populate it, hit update, and that one will show up in my app as well. Those will be there until you take them out. So again, these are daily. So if I was working, Monday through Friday, and I was going to be in a harness every day, I would be sending you in a daily checklist. I'll show you how those work in the app again in just a minute. So that's our PPE inspections. You can note here, we've got vehicle checklists, we've got scissor lift, hard hats, rope grabs, rope checklists, stack ladders, boom lifts, just all kinds of checklists here for you, for your employees. Let's go back to our dashboard now. JHA analysis. So we've combined our JHA app into the Advocate program. And if I go to my JHAs, and this one will make a little more sense here in a second, but you can see the JHAs that we've created. I'm able to download them right here, and we'll create one in the app, and we'll come back to this section here in a minute. Also, our store is here. You're able to go in and get some incredible deals on Petzl, Kong, Sky Genie, some others as well. We've got some excellent deals for you there as being an advocate and part of our program. Our consultations is something that shouldn't be minimized either. You can always schedule a 15-minute, 30-minute, 1-hour consultation with us, unlimited. So anytime you have a problem, have a question, maybe you get an OSHA problem, we're here for you, and you can schedule that as part of your advocate program. And then I want to just take you through the resources section here really quick. Some really cool features in here. And one of them is to be able to create a safety manual. So if you click on this here, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add our logo. And so we've already have your company information, which is going to populate in the safety manual as well. But what we're going to do is we're going to choose our logo. So let's see if we can find mine here. I'm going to put this one in and hit upload logo. And it's going to populate your logo there. And now when I hit create, it's going to create a PDF for us. And you're going to see that the PDF now populated. So there's the Expert Safety Services Safety Manual. You're going to see the ghosting on the blank pages. And here's our table of contents, company policy, drug and alcohol policy, everything we would need in a safety manual. And what you're going to do with this really becomes the culture of your company. Any employee that comes on board, you're going to give them a copy of this, maybe explain it to them, what is going on. There's also some valuable checklists in here, some OSHA guidelines. There's an accident incident report in your safety manual. Also, I'm going to forward down just a little bit. There's a OSHA logs 300 form if you're qualify for that or need to do that with multiple employees. Also, you're going to find that in here as well is also your inspection forms. Now, these are also in your resources tab, but they're also in your safety manual as well. So very comprehensive safety manual. Once it's downloaded into the PDF here, you can use it at your discretion, but that's how easy it is to create your safety manual as a safety advocate. Inspection forms. So those inspection forms that might be on a quarterly basis by a competent person, all of those inspection forms are here for you. All the resources that are needed for once the respiratory training is taken, your employees will probably ask you, hey, I need to do a fit test, or hey, I need to fill out a medical form. All of those forms are here. And then also your change logs to make sure that you're providing the filters as they are needed or as they expire. Weekly safety meetings, if you're wanting them in PDF, you might not ever want them, but if you do, since they're going to be in the app and video, but if you do, they're right here. All 26 of them, and they're also in Spanish as well, both English and Spanish. SDS sheets. these two, you're going to see that these are right on the employee's app. So you don't have to print that bulky book anymore. It's right in the app. But if you ever did need it as the employer, you're able to download the industry SDS sheets right here. If you ever get in a situation where you're using something that's not mentioned here, please just let us know and we'll add it. And we'll add it into the app as well. So this really is the dashboard side of this and what you can do. There's one other little thing here. There's kind of some reminders of how the dashboard and the app work together. But what I'd like to do now is I want to stop share here just for a second. And I'm going to take you into the app now. So we're going to take you what the employee would see here. All right, very good. So in this particular case, you're going to see the app on the phone. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to work the app here. You can see, so we're going to create a JHA first. That's the first piece of the app. And this allows an employee or your salesperson or whatever to be out in the field, create a job hazard analysis, and send it back to your dashboard. So you, the employer, know what's going on or what the JHA is going to be. And I'll take you back into the dashboard here in a minute. But we've got this populated. The first 4 boxes there are already populated right now. You can add whatever you want in there. Those would be blank when you see it. I just did it for sake of time. And let's do a residential JHA. So I would simply hit residential there. And what we want you to do in this is we know that most hazards in our mobile contracting world repeat. And so what we want you to do is tell us, do those hazards exist? And if you're not sure what we're asking, you can teach your employees, simply hit the I button, and you'll notice that we'll ask you a question there. Do power lines interfere with any work being done? Okay, I got it. So on this residential, let's just say yes. We're going to populate that. There are some electrical lines that come in, and we can even add information. West side of the house. All right. Now, are we going to be using chemicals? We'll put yes, we are. Are we going to use a water-fed pole? Yes. No noise. We'll continue on to ladder use. Will we be on the ladder? What's that mean? Employee will be working while on a ladder. Yep, he will. He plans to transfer. What did that mean? That means he'll leave the ladder to another surface. Okay, got it. And then he's going to be on the roof actually as well. Then there's other hazards that we can list. This is here for you, just so that you've got the option of adding other things. In this, we'll put pit bull inside yard, maybe a hazard we couldn't note, and it will populate it there. Now all we do is just hit Finish JHA and hit Done. And you're going to see we're going to come back out to here, and where that JHA went is right back to the employer dashboard, and we'll show you where that's at here in just a minute. Let's look at the next function of the app. You'll see that at the bottom there, it says PPE inspection. So if you remember, the employer assigned some PPE inspections to me. If I go here, there they are. So let's just go through a couple of them. Okay, let's say I have a harness checklist to do. We simply answer the questions. Are webbing and stitching in good order? Yes. Are all D-rings, buckles free from rust and cracks? Yes. Are all plastic components free from tears? Yes. Is the harness the correct size? Let's put no there. And are labels legible? No. Now, when I hit this send checklist, it just sent. It went to the employer's dashboard. Let's do one more. Let's do the vehicle checklist. Are tire issues noted? No. Brake lights working? Let's put no there. Are all turn signals? Yes. Any oil leaks? No. Are wipers, horns, seatbelts working? Yes. Windshields have any cracks? No. Is there a fire extinguisher? Yes. Does the vehicle need an oil change? No. Send checklist. And what you're going to see is that went back to the dashboard in a minute. We'll take you back there in just a minute. So let's move on now. And again, these checklists will stay there as long as you have them assigned to them. Once you could also take them out in the dashboard if it was no longer necessary. So let's go to our assignments. What you're going to see in the assignment section is you're going to see that we've got all the trainings that we had. The ladder safety training, OSHA 1910 respiratory, and you'll see in the respiratory training it's completed. And we noted that in the dashboard as well. I'd already taken that. But what we've got here is we're able to go ahead and you're able to touch that and it will take you back to the video if you wish. So if you need to retune up on something or you can't remember quite what was said, employee can refresh themselves as they need it. But you also notice at the bottom, chemical safety. That was our weekly safety meeting that was assigned. So we're going to show you an example of this. I'm going to go ahead and let this play. We've tried to make these as dummy proof as possible and also cheat proof as possible, so that once it starts, the employee has to watch it all the way through. They can't do anything else, or else it won't trigger that it's been viewed in your dashboard. So I'll start it now, and then we'll just let it play through so that you can see an example of a weekly safety meeting, and then we'll go on.
Hey everybody, I want to talk in our weekly safety meeting this week about chemical safety. Many of you are using different chemicals out in the field. It may range from bleaches to acids to soaps, surfactants, whatever, but you are exposed to chemicals out in the field. And so really we want to talk about, first of all, through your trainings you should remember what an SDS sheet is. And you either have it in a logbook on your truck or you have it on your phone in the app. But either way, you should know an SDS sheet, you should be able to find it, and you should know the two primary areas that we're concerned with is first aid and PPE required, and that's Section 4 and Section 8. So Section 4 is first aid, Section 8 is PPE required for chemicals. So you want to familiarize yourself, look at that. If you've been asked to use one Restore, let's say today, you want to go to the SDS sheet in your logs, either on your phone or in the truck, find out what is required of the PPE and then use your PPE accordingly. Also, you should be familiar with your chemical spill kit. It's going to be on your truck, and that's to prevent if we were to dump acid or we were to dump bleach all over something, we would be able to contain it. We don't have to do a big hazmat cleanup, but we want to be able to contain it. That chemical spill kit should be on your truck, and you should be able to know where that's at and locate it quickly. Also, your first aid kit, you're going to want to know where that's at on the truck. Make sure you can identify it. Also, make sure the supplies in it are what there should be. There's some creams in there, maybe burn cream, stuff like that for any chemical exposures that you may have. And then maybe most important, we want to make sure that the eye wash bottles in that first aid kit are up to date. They haven't been expired, so that if we do take any chemical in the eyes, we have a way to flush that out. And depending on how much chemical we're carrying is going to determine how much eye wash we need. We may need an eye wash station, we may need an eye wash bottle, but either way we want the contents of it to be fresh so that if we have to squirt it in our eye, we're good. So by keeping these things in mind, by using the proper PPE that the SDS sheet dictates, also knowing where the first aid and the chemical spill kit is on our trucks is going to keep us equipped and well and safe for any chemical exposures that we may have. So stay safe out there today.
All right, so you can see that weekly safety meeting, it went away in the app. That's because it was watched. We know that it was watched by the employee, and you're going to note in your dashboard the date and the time that happened. So very nice. And then so our next feature of this is the resources tab down at the bottom of the app. I'm going to hit that there, and it's really two different things at this point. One is all the reminders that for OSHA. So let's just say the employee watched watched our ladder safety video, and he's out in the field and he can't quite remember, what did he say about ladder safety? What was the note? He's simply able to go in here and find any of the OSHA requirements that are noted on those individual topics that are listed there. So right at his fingertips, fire protection, any of those things, all the OSHA documentation is there. The other thing that's there is, if you note at the top, it says SDS sheets, and if I touch that, that's where all of those industry SDSs are. No need for that big, bulky SDS book anymore. It's all right on the phone. And you'll note in that chemical safety video, I mentioned one Restore. So let's just find it. Let's go down to O here, and we're going to be able to find one Restore by EcoChem. There's the SDS sheet. We mentioned Section 4 and Section 8 would have to be very critical for them to be able to find and utilize, and they're both right there for them. So those SDS sheets are all there. And again, if you as the owner are using something that we didn't note here, please let us know. We'll get it in there for you. We tried to be pretty comprehensive about this list, but I'm sure we missed something. And if we did, please let us know. So that puts us back into, so that again, the app is how the employee is going to communicate with you. Let's go back just briefly. Let's go back into our dashboard and let's see what happened. So if we go into our employee training, remember, we didn't do any trainings But if we would have, if I wanted to see what's Mike Draper up to with his trainings, I could simply go here. And again, all that information, or once I watched one of these, this information would be here. I'm able to download the certificate, so I have that on file for the employees if I wish to. Go back to our dashboard. And what we'll see here in our weekly safety meetings, remember we assigned Mike Draper the chemical safety, today's date, and so we got it back that he viewed it. And so that came back into our dashboard, and this would be for any employee and any week or whatever that come back here. I've just used chemical safety as a lot for these tests, but at any rate, we see how that came back into the dashboard there. Let's go back out to our PPE inspections. Click that, and here you're going to see 810. The harness inspection came back. Now, this is a beautiful thing for you employers because you get a snapshot of your equipment out in the field without even having to be there, right? So you remember we put here, is the harness of correct size? And the employee noted, no, it's not. Well, that would automatically prompt a call, right? Why is the harness not right? What's the deal? Is it not the same one we issued you? There's a problem there. And so the employer can get on top of it. Are the labels legible? No. Okay, well, that probably means we might need to get him a different harness before use at the end of the day, whatever. But he has noted that something's not right with his harness. We also did a vehicle checklist, which would show up here in Mike Draper's area as well. And again, you will know some of you are sending vehicles home with guys. They do a before checklist before they go out to work that day. And we note here that we note here, are there any oil leaks? Are all the are the brake lights working? No, they're not. Uh-oh. So that's going to prompt us as an employer to figure out what's going on there, right? So we can see how those come back to our dashboard. Again, it gives us a real live snapshot of the equipment out in the field before the employees start work, and it's a documented thing as well. So let's go back to our dashboard, and let's go to the JHA then, which will be our final piece of this. If we go to the JHAs, you're going to see, remember that one, Expert Safety Services 10 Main Street is what we did. Here's the date on that. It came in. I'm going to download that. So now you're looking at the JHA that we did. There was the Expert Safety Services window cleaning 10 Main Street. We said we were going to be using chemicals. We had electrical hazards. You remember that extra information that we were able to put in there, west side of house. And basically what we've asked you to do is let us know what are the hazards there. You have done so over here. We tell you what the potential problem is here and the potential hazards and the methods for eliminating and controlling that hazards based on OSHA 1910. And so if we go down, all of the different criteria are here. And then remember, there's our other hazards. We put a pit bull in the side yard. So that is there as well. So now you can do what you want with this JHA. It's a PDF at this point. You can upload it into your CRM. You can send it back out for employee signature, however you want to do that in your company. But we've created it. It came back to your dashboard, and you're able to use it how you want to. So we hope that this really gave you a nice summary of the Safety Advocate Program, the things that are available to you, all the way from the online safety trainings to the weekly safety meetings, to the PPE inspections, to the JHA process, and even the resources. It's a pretty comprehensive safety program for you companies that are mobile contractors out there, and we really hope you enjoy it.